What's going on, you guys? Mr. Allen here, about to write some equations of lines in slope-intercept form. We got multiple scenarios here. First off, though, let's write down slope-intercept form. That is y equals mx plus b. M is my slope, b is my y-intercept. X and y are going to remain variables in my final answer. However, at times I am going to be plugging numbers in for x and y to solve for my y-intercept b. All right, there's a couple ways to do these types of things. This is one way. All right, first one here, I have my y-intercept, so b is equal to 8. I have my slope, so m is equal to negative 2/3. In this example, I gave you everything. There's literally like no math to do other than substituting in for these variables. So I'm going to have y equals negative 2/3 x plus 8. That's it. Final answer. We are done with this one, okay? Short and sweet. All right. Next one over here. We've got our slope, so we know what m is. It's 1/4. But I don't know what b is because I just have a point, and that point is not 0 comma something. It's negative 8 comma 3. So what the heck do I do? Well, I do know that this is x and this is y. So I can use this equation that I have up here. I can plug 3 in for y. I can plug 1/4 in for m, and I can plug negative 8 in for x, and then we can solve for b because I only have one variable left. Oh my goodness, a fraction. Terrifying. But what's 1/4 of 8? It is negative 2. Well, 2 and it's negative. All right. There we go. Plus b. So now I have to add 2 to both sides. I get 5 equals b. Now I have b. It's 5. And I can write my equation just like I did here when I had m and b at the start. And I'm going to get y equals, we got 1/4 for m. X stays x plus b. Okay. So I want you guys to notice the progression that we have here. First one, I gave you m, I gave you b. We substitute them in. That's my final equation. X and y are variables in the final answer. Over here, we had m. We're ready to go. But I didn't have b. So I used a point to solve for b and then write my final equation. Here, I don't have either. So panic sets in, yes? Okay. It's all right, though. We're going to be fine. We're going to be just fine. I'll go with orange on this one. So I need my slope. Don't have it. I need my y-intercept. I don't have it. But I can find my slope, and I can find my y-intercept. So let's start with our slope. Slope is the change in y over change in x. So I could have 8 minus 2, that's the change in y, and then 2 minus 5, so 2 minus 5. That is my slope formula, right? It's like x1, y1, x2, y2. Cool? Plugging that in. If you don't remember how to find slope, I got other videos on slope as well. Perhaps I'll link them in here for some of that practice, okay? If I remember. Alrighty. Next up, we've got 8 minus 2 is 6. 2 minus 5 is negative 3, so it's negative 2. All right, so negative 2 is my slope. All right. Now for b. How in the heck am I going to get b? Well, let's see here. If I backtrack 1, okay, right over here, when I had my slope and I didn't have b, my y-intercept, I used my slope and a point to set up an equation that allowed me to solve for b. Could I use the same idea here? Absolutely. Does it matter which one of these 2 points I pick? No, it does not. Pick whichever one you want, whichever one you think is easiest. These are both positive numbers in each. I don't see an advantage of either one. I'll just go with the smaller numerical value of 5 in the first ordered pair. So we're going to take y being 2 equals m being negative 2. 5 is my x plus b. And now I'll solve for b. So we've got 2 equals negative 10 plus b. So we get 12 equals b when I add 10 to both sides. And now I can write my final answer here because I have m, I have b. We're going to have y equals, right, because the y is going to stay y in my final answer. Negative 2x, x is going to be x in my final answer, plus 12. Boom. There we go. So each one of these, we're just kind of building on from one to the next, okay? So whenever you're looking at a problem here, do I have my slope? If you don't, you're going to have to find it, right? Do I have a point or do I have my y-intercept? No, but if I have a point, I can use my slope and that point to find my y-intercept, okay? There's a lot of scenarios here. Sometimes we say write one that's parallel to a line, write one that's perpendicular. There's other ones that are a little more advanced after this. Got videos for those too. They're super dope, all right? But every one of them follows this kind of same process. I got to get my slope. I need a point on that line to find my y-intercept, final equation, okay? All right, same kind of deal as this one, just one more example. So I've got 2 points. Ooh, a 0. Oh, no, that's not my y-intercept. This is actually an x-intercept, not part of this equation here. Important in other aspects, but not for slope-intercept form. So we're going to try to find our slope here. So we've got m equals, we're going to have our 0 minus 4, 0 minus 4 over 5 minus negative 3. Now, does it matter which ordered pair I start with? No, but whatever. If I start with this one in the numerator, I got to start with it in the denominator. If I started with this one, I did 4 minus 0, then I would just have negative 3 minus 5. So it's okay. You just got to be consistent with where you start in your numerator and denominator. Get negative 4, and then we've got positive, positive. That makes it 8. This one, negative 1/2. All right. Oh, boy, a fraction. I'm terrified. This is going to be rough. We can handle it. All right. Now I can pick either one of these two, right, to solve for b. Okay. Well, that's got a negative. I'll go with this one. It's 0. Usually 0 is, easy to work with in a problem, or easier to work with. So 0 is going to be y. I've got negative 1/2 for m. I've got 5 for x plus b. Now, one thing I'd look for when picking my point to work with, if I have a fraction, is if the number here is divisible by the denominator. Negative 3 is not divisible by 2. 5 is not divisible by 2. So that didn't really apply here, which is why it really didn't matter which one I picked. But if I had that, if I had like a 6 as an x coordinate, then I'd pick that one, because then half a 6, right? Easier to do. But I am going to have to deal with some fractions here, but not too bad, because I just have 0 over here. So this is going to be negative 5/2 plus b. I add 5/2 to 0 is just 5/2. I'm going to make that my fraction. 5/2 equals b. All right, we've got m, it's negative 1/2. We've got b, it's 5/2. My final equation here is y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5/2. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Just wrote 4 equations of lines because we're awesome, dope, and loving math. All right, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Hope you liked it. Again, more problems after this one here when we got different scenarios, parallel lines, perpendicular lines, all sorts of good stuff. But here's a good starting point. All right, have a dope day.